Hey, Final Boss family, I'm Floyd.
And I'm Griffin.
And this is Final Boss Comics and Games, located at 10 Gordon Avenue in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. And today, we're going to talk to you about our most anticipated titles coming out in this year, 2024.
That's right.
I'm going to call it my hype list.
Hype list.
Hype.
So we've both compiled independent lists. We have not gone over them amongst ourselves.
We haven't, but we kind of know, but we don't.
There may be some overlap.
I'm sure there will be.
Having said that, start us off.
You start us off.
Me?
Yes.
All right. Well, my first title on my list is going to be Moon Man, coming from Kid Cudi, Kyle Higgins, and Marco Lucati. This comes out January 31st. And the reason why I'm excited about it is because in addition to very impressive art in all of the preview issues, I've gotten to read a little bit of it, and I really liked what I read. It's being described as sort of a modern take on like a Miracle Man type book. And it's just got a lot of really solid creative minds kind of pushing it forward. And all of the covers are super impressive. And that's why it ended up on my list.
Now, does it tie into the Massive-verse?
It is not part of the Massive-verse. Okay. This was announced back at New York Comic-Con this year. And ever since then, I've just been pretty hyped to get that first oversized issue.
And for those of you who don't know, the Massive-verse is the universe composing of Radiant Black, Radiant Pink, Rogue Sun, and a bunch of other cool books that we've all been loving here. Which, if you looked at our favorite books of 2023, it might be in there as well.
Also, shout out No One, which is in that
Massive
verse. I feel like that doesn't get enough love. Really
correct.
Cool twist on the true crime podcast.
You are correct. Okay, so I'm going to throw out one of mine. I'm trying to put mine in order of date by release.
Oof.
Because I have, you don't need to, but that way I'm not showing favoritism. I'm just going straight through. Because, and I'm going to start with Thundercats, honestly.
Ooh.
Yeah, Deacon Shavely and Drew Moss doing the art. And I'm excited. As a huge Thundercats fan, I want to see where we're going to go with this. It's been a while since we've had a Thundercats book, and even longer since I've read one. So I'm ready.
Is Schnarf in this?
I hope Schnarf is in it. And Panthro. And I'm sure when I read the comic, I'm going to hear the theme from Thunder Tank while Panthro's driving it. I'm ready for that. I'm so ready for that. Oh man, what about you? What you got?
All right, so my second pick. This is a two-parter, really. So anyone who knows me knows that I am a huge fan of both Dan Waters and Ram V. Right? They have two. Each of them has one series coming out, but they're two halves of the same whole. On February 7th, The One Hand comes out, and that's by Ram V, with art from Lawrence Campbell and colors from Lee Luridge. And that follows a detective who's about to retire when a case comes across his desk that mirrors the pattern of a serial killer he already put away earlier in his career. And then on February 27th, Dan Waters and Sumit Kumar, who did art on These Savage Shores, which is phenomenal. The Six Fingers, which sees in that same world an archaeology student kind of fall down this dark mystical path, and he may be the killer that the detective from the Ram V book is looking for. So these two series present kind of different perspectives of the same cat and mouse situation. It's a very inventive way to approach a narrative. I haven't really seen a comic do this before. I'm very excited to see how it works out.
And I knew that was on your list because you've been talking about it so long, and I'm excited for it. But I also forgot to mention that Thundercats also comes out February 7th. So we both have books we're excited for.
Pick a side.
Thundercats or serial killers.
The one hand. You only need one.
Okay, I'm going to go into my next book, which comes out on February 14th, and it's called Displaced. It's by Ed Brisson and Luca Castellan-Gildas.
Ooh, that did look good.
Sorry if I mispronounced the names, but so I actually got to read issue 1 this morning, and it was great. It's very low spoilers, but about a town, seems like a normal town. Then all of a sudden, a chunk of the town just vanishes. Like it's giving me Lost vibes. It's giving me Cull vibes a little from Kelly. So I am, yeah. I'm really excited about this book. I want to know where it's going, and I'm hyped. I'm hyped for it. Let's do this.
Brisson just killed it too on Sins of the Salton Sea. So
so good.
Any creator owned kind of thing he's putting down right now, I'm super into. The next thing on my list is going to be the reteaming of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow superstars Tom King and Bilquis Evely, along with Matthias Lopez on colors, and it's Helen of Wyndham. This is described as sort of Conan meets a Wizard of Oz, where the main character Helen, her father dies suddenly. He created a bunch of pulpy like characters, and she goes back to the Wyndham house, and mysteries start unfolding and adventures and such. But really, this is for me the creative team that really stood out in that last round of books.
Supergirl's amazing.
And Evely's art, especially with Lopez's colors, is just so incredible. So as soon as I heard the creative team, I was sold on this book.
Another one I knew was on your list. And honestly, everything I learned about this book, I just learned this second, because once I saw the creative team, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, it's one of the ones I know the least about, because I was just immediately sold.
Yeah.
That comes out March 13th.
And Supergirl was one of our book club books that we do here once a month, and everyone loved it. Even you, Aaron, because of Comet. But hey, I'm excited about this.
Do you know he's a guy?
I found out, yes.
Comet the horse is actually a person.
Okay.
What's up next for you?
Coming in March 6th.
Ooh.
Spectacular Spider-Man. Greg Weisman and Humberto Ramos. I'm all in. Spectacular Spider-Man is one of my favorite cartoons of all time, on par with the animated series.
Both great.
Both fantastic. He also did Young Justice, Gargoyles, Creator, and if he puts it out, I'm reading it. So it's him, and I just know I'm going to get that classic Spider-Man fun feel from it. And if they let him cook, I'm sure we're going to get complex storylines, and he hasn't missed yet, and he's not going to miss now. So I am excited for it. I've seen the covers. I kind of want to get every cover because I'm a mark. But hey, I'm ready.
I knew this was going to be on your list because this is a book that you've been talking about nonstop since you saw the announcement. It does look really, really exciting.
It does. And that's Peter and Miles together in one book. So let's do this.
Up next, coming out March 27th, I have the reteaming of one of your favorite duos from the last year. It's Scott Snyder and Francisco Francavilla reteaming to do a book from publisher Distillery.
Would you believe that's the next one on my list too?
No way, we did it again?
We did it again.
So White Boat.
White Boat.
This is being described as for fans of the Island of Dr. Moreau, but also Hereditary. So we're going to get really strong horror vibes, some interesting mysteries.
I'm in.
And just an incredible creative team working together again. It's about rich people with giant yachts kind of abducting people by inviting them onto these trips, taking them to an island, and then kind of experimenting on them. And again, this was an instant sell as soon as I saw the creators on it.
Again, everything I learned about this book, I just learned right now. Because it's the team from Night of the Ghoul. And seeing that, I was like, I'm in. I don't care. I saw a little sneak peek inside Devil's Cut from Distillery.
Devil's Cut.
And that's all I needed. I was like, I'm in. I'm excited. So yeah, so funny that again, just like Wonder Woman on our last list, same time.
It's Night of the Ghoul was a really standout book for us here at the shop. Yeah. We could not keep it in stock.
Yeah. Hopefully we get to do it this year for a comic book club around Halloween. It's a horror book, and as much as I love horror movies, I watch them to fall asleep peacefully at night. It's the first horror book or anything I ever read or watched that actually gave me heart palpitation. I was like, oh, this is good.
There's a couple moments in that book that really hit the mark. And horror can be so hard to translate especially that feeling of jumpiness and dread.
But that
And
art.
yeah, Francavilla just
Ooh.
nails it. So I'm excited to see what he does here.
Okay, I guess I'll go next since even though we were
Yeah,
tied
no,
on that
well,
one.
after you.
Coming March 27th is Feral, which
Ooh,
reteams Tony Fleeks and Trish Forrester with Tone Rodriguez.
is that the Stray Dogs
It's the
team?
Stray Dogs team.
Ooh,
Stray Dogs is a book kind of it's a book I had to apologize to ahead of time. I said if you're a dog lover, you don't want to read this book. Yeah, it's
oof.
really good. But I'm all in on this book. It's more dogs, but this time kind of like versus the infected. So maybe this one's more homeward bound.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So
It
I'm excited, and that team is fantastic together. So another one I'm really looking forward to.
do you think it'll have any of like the Red Rover Charlie?
And that's what I was thinking from Garth Ennis. It gave me like I just read a brief synopsis of it, and it gives me a little bit of those vibes. But
Okay.
knowing that team is going to go in a different direction than Garth
Yeah,
Ennis, because Red Rover Charlie felt like it was set in the cross universe. I'm pretty sure it
it
was.
was.
So this one's going to be heartbreaking, but maybe for a completely different reason. Because Stray Dogs, fantastic book. But if you decide to get it, I'm sorry ahead of time.
Well, as long as we're talking about dog books,
Oh,
I have Man's Best, which is coming March 20th. Pornsec Pichet Jesse Langerman. Um, this is also described as sort of a homeward bound on an alien world. It was giving me a lot of We Three vibes,
okay.
where there's these three emotional support animals that are all kind of decked out with tech, and them having to try to find their way back from this alien world. Uh, and
Man,
again, I'm a huge porn sack fan. Infidel's phenomenal. Good Asian was an excellent piece of noir. I'm not as familiar with Jesse, but everything I've seen promotional image wise from this book has me hype.
okay. I'm excited now. I've heard of it. Again, knew nothing. I order a lot of books. Sometimes I deliberately avoid to know what they're about because like a movie. Sometimes you just want to jump in blind. But now I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for it. So my next book comes out in April. This one is coming straight to trade.
Ooh,
Yeah. And I'm going into this one like Thundercats. A lot of people won't know this show, but it's called King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. And it's going
deep cut.
deep cut, going straight to trade. It's about a football team that somehow gets teleported back to Arthurian times.
Tale as old as time.
Right? And King Arthur and his court has been kidnapped, so they become the new Knights of Justice. Right? Amazing. I'm in. I'm going to relive this random childhood show, and I'm going to have a great time doing it. And the team on it is, let's see, sorry about that, Joe Carrillo and Gaia Cardinale. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get this book in the store. If anyone else liked the show or just remember watching the show, get ready for it. It's coming.
What age bracket would you say this is aimed at?
Probably all ages, honestly.
It's always exciting to see a cool all
Yeah.
ages book coming
I'm
out.
I'm hoping so. I don't think they're gonna add unnecessary blood or violence, but if they do, I'm still gonna read it. But don't worry, I'll read it and let everyone know.
So the last entry that I sort of have is cheating, because it's really three different books.
And one of those is on my list.
But the thing that I am lastly excited for here is going to be this new era of Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is on its road to 150 issues. And at 150, we're getting a relaunch from Jason Aaron, with an incredible creative team over the first few issues, including Cliff Chang, Joel Jones, Raphael Albuquerque, and Chris Burnham. And I'm excited to see what Jason Aaron brings to a property like this. Um, but outside of that, we also have a sort of announced, sort of unannounced mini series coming out of Free Comic Book Day. Uh, Junie Ba on Ninja Turtles. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. It's an instant buy for me. Um, Very excited to see what his art brings to the table. And finally, March 6th, after two delays, we finally get Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution from Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz, with art from Isaac and Isao Escorza and Ben Bishop. And I really loved everything we got from Lost Years and the original Last Ronin. But my favorite thing, I think, was these new turtles, this new generation of teenage turtles uh, coming of age in the last Ronin's sort of post-apocalyptic almost world, full of different dangers and threats and a different feeling than we get from the old turtles. And that the Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution is going to follow these new turtles.
I'm excited.
And I'm all the way into it. I'm excited for a new generation to be able to connect with a new batch of turtles. I'm excited for myself and older fans to find new things to love in these personalities. And the art looks phenomenal. I'm just, it's a good year to be a turtle fan.
That was the same thing on my list. Jason, I didn't split it between 3, but that Jason Aaron announcement.
You didn't get greedy like I did?
I mean, I was a little greedy. But yeah, I mean, we posted it yesterday as soon as it dropped. I'm excited about all 4 artists. I'm glad you said them. So that way I don't have to remember everyone's name. But hey, super excited. I'm loving what IDW is doing with the Turtleverse, and I can't wait to see how this goes because I'm a long time fan of Turtles. I've been reading the IDW run since the beginning. Still love Cityfall. Still one of my highest, just the first time I read that part and told all the customers and they read it, they loved it. There's no better feeling than that. So yeah, that would have been my same on that one. Was that your last one?
That's my last one.
Okay, so I have an emergency one just in case. So coming out in May, perhaps on May the 4th, on Free Comic Book Day, the final book I'm excited about is the Energon Universe Free Comic Book Day book. I know nothing about it, but the Energon Universe has been on fire between Void Rivals, Transformers, Duke, and Cobra Commander. You can read each one of them individually, but by reading them together, it just, oh man, the world building they're doing is insane. The Transformers and Joe universe has been in good hands with Skybound, and between Kirkman and Williamson, and of course,
Daniel Warren
thank you, do a power bomb. It's just been incredible. So yeah, that's what I'm excited for. All we know is that it's a top secret Energon Universe book, and we are ready for it. Free Comic Book Day is going to be crazy, and I cannot wait for it.
The thing about the Energon Universe is that every time they've told us they have a big secret, it's been a big secret.
Yes.
So them telling us and then not telling us, I'm really excited to find out what that is with all the fans.
Same.
And the Energon Universe really feels like you're at the start of something that's going to be big, and it's cool to see it expand in real time, the way that Duke and Cobra have kind of spun out of it. So yeah, anything that adds to that universe, I'm down for.
Yeah, I mean, we're a couple of months in, and almost weekly, if not daily, we have new customers coming in and jumping on to the books, either for the first time or they were reading Void Rivals and decided to read Transformers and say, no, I don't want to read G.I. Joe. And then they read Transformers #2 and say, oh man, I need that Duke issue.
Duke is so good.
Yeah. And Cobra Commander, which was just our pick of the week for last week, oh, it's so good. Yeah, everything they do is great. Everything has a little twist, but
new fans, old fans, there's something for everyone.
Yeah, if you haven't been reading, now's the time to come back. But yeah, I think, is that our list?
I think that, so that's just a sampling of some of the best things coming down the pipeline. I do want to, there is another Ram V book, Dawn Runner, coming with the cover artist from his detective run, Evan Cagle. And that is a book about mechs. I know nothing else about it, but I've seen some of the establishing shot pages.
Mechs and Ram V, you're in.
And Dawn Runner looks exceptional. So that's also coming out very soon.
And while I know nothing about it, unfortunately, the age of Krakoa is ending. I don't know anything that we're going into, but part of me is still excited about the unknown. I mean, will we go back to the mansion? I hope not. Will Professor X lead Magneto? Who knows? But I'm excited about it. So no idea when it starts, but I'm here.
We get a Gail Simone Free Comic Book Day X-Men and I'm interested to see where it takes us too.
Big Gail Simone fan.
Big Gail
Secret
Simone fan.
Six is coming back in omnibus. Everyone, if you have not read Secret Six, it's going to come, I think, in 2 omnibuses. That's going to be the book. It's one of the best told stories of all time.
I'll take both.
Yeah, I know it's an older title, but it's an upcoming title, so I'm excited about that. I own a lot of the single issues. I lost a few. I'm about to rebuy this because it's something that belongs in everyone's collection.
Can't say enough good things about Secret Six.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's it.
Comics!
We will see you soon. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment. We want to know what books are you excited about. We love hearing what you're reading, what you're excited about reading, because, we like to read comics. We like to talk comics, and that's why we're here.
And, of course, if any of these titles have piqued your interest, you can let us know to reserve a copy and put it on your pull list, and we will do so gladly.
Yeah, and remember, pull listers get free bags and boards, and you get 10% off. So come on down. If you're not following us already, we're at FinalBossComics on all social media. And that's it.
Until next time.
We'll see you soon. Read comics.